at the Finatics Fish Story Time, and we're going to do a song, and we're going to do a story, and we're going to talk about a fish, some fun, interesting facts about a fish today. And you can see her flying right behind me in this tank right here. This is Stanley The Stingray, and she is a freshwater stingray. So, should we start with our song? Should we start with our song? Little blue fish goes bloop, 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 bloop. The blue little fish goes bloop, 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 and they all went bloop, bloop, bloop. But we know
it goes the
little blue fish goes kissy kiss kiss, kissy kiss kiss, kissy kiss kiss. The blue little fish goes kissy kiss kiss. They don't go bloop bloop.
No, Mom, it goes because the blue little fish goes bloop, bloop, bloop.
Bloop bloop bloop. Bloop bloop bloop. The blue little fish goes bloop bloop bloop. They don't go
Kissy kiss.
kissy kiss kiss. I like them going kissy kiss kiss. You like them go bloop 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 with all those bubbles? The bloop bloop bloop. Can you imagine the bubbles going bloop 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 in the tank? Because yeah, fishies have bubbles, the air bubbles, so they can help them breathe, huh?
And I'm just up as my Norwell costume today because this is my Halloween costume. I did it when I was 2 years old.
That's right.
And when I was 3 years old, but now I'm 4.
That's right. And we are all about talking about fish today, right?
Yeah, and we're at Finatics Fish Shop. That's my daddy's fish shop, and this is the Ulrich family fish shop.
That's right.
And we wanted to put on a little thing because we can't do it in the coronavirus times.
That's right.
So we wanted to put on a little story time of a video because we haven't done it in a very long time. We might have not even done it one time.
That's right. And we wanted to bring you some joy today and some fun and some learning.
And
we wanted to show you some fish and how they get fed. So let's move on to our story time.
Yes.
So are you ready to do a story?
Yes.
Awesome. Let's get the Pout-Pout fish, huh?
This one, Mom.
Norabelle is recommending this Pout-Pout fish. She liked this one. She liked me reading this one to her today. So we'll go ahead and read this one for our first story, our first Finatics Fish Story. So we have here, the Pout-Pout fish goes to school. The Pout-Pout fish goes to school. So here we have a long time ago when Mr. Fish was very small. He headed off to school for the first time of all. With a smooch from his parents and excited for his day, Mr. Fish rushed in. Then he lost his way. Oh no. Have you ever lost your way? The big fish around him knew exactly where to go, finding lockers, finding classes. In a fast, smart flow. Mr. Fish, left behind with his grin sinking thin, finally stopped at a doorway, and he shyly looked in. The class was doing writing, and almost everybody knew it. So he tried to print his name, but he just couldn't do it. So he flub, flub, frowned, making flub, flub, bubbles. Then he plopped down his pencil and he counted off his troubles. Trouble 1, I'm not smart. Trouble 2, I'll never get it. Trouble 3, I don't belong. And so 4, I should forget it. He floated with a frown down the long corridor. Then he peeked a look through another room door. class was drawing shapes, and almost everybody knew it. So he tried to make a rhombus, but he just couldn't do it. So he flub, flub, frown, making blub, blub bubbles. Then he plopped down his pencil, and he counted off his troubles. Trouble 1, I'm not smart. Trouble 2, I'll never get it. Trouble 3, I don't belong. So 4, I should forget it. He drifted down the hallway with a doubt face till he spied another doorway. Maybe this was the place. Maybe that was his place. The class was doing math, and almost everybody knew it. So he tried long division, but he just couldn't do it. Oh, pretty sad there, huh? So he flub, flub, frown, making blub, blub bubbles. Then he plopped down his pencil and he counted off his troubles. Trouble 1, I'm not smart. Trouble 2, I'll never get it. Trouble 3, I don't belong. So 4, get it. He rushed toward the exit. That's enough, I say. School is way too tough and I'm not going to stay. Then a soft, kind voice said, don't you fret. You don't have to know things you haven't learned yet. Your classroom awaits. I'm your teacher, Mrs. Hewitt. I am here to help you learn, and I know that you can do it. Right? You're a fish who is smart. With practice, you will get it. Young fish, you belong, and don't you forget it. The student and the teacher swam a splish, splash, swish to a door with a sign marked brand new fish. Brand new fish right there. See? That was his door right there. Miss Hewitt said, good morning, I'm excited you're all here. Together we will have a spectacular year. Fact 1, you are smart. Fact 2, you can get it. Fact 3, you belong. So 4, don't forget it. The class got to work and Miss Hewitt helped them through it. They listened, then they tried, and everyone could get it. Mr. Fish gave a grin. Goodbye, blub bubbles. No more doubt, worries. No more flub, flub troubles. He swam with his class, Miss Hewitt by his side, as the students and the teacher said with confidence and pride. Fact 1, we are smart. Fact 2, we can get it. Fact 3, we belong. And 4, we won't forget it. Here's the Kinder Pup class reunion of Miss Hewitt's class. And that is the story of the Pout-Pout Fish Goes to School.
That was Pout-Pout Fish. And so we are now going to talk about fish.
We're going to talk about fish? What kind of a fish? We're going to talk about Stanley? We're going to talk about Stanley. That's right. We're going to talk about Stanley. So get ready. Who wants to see Stanley get some food and know what kind of food Stanley eats? And a fun fact about Stanley, and where is Stanley from in the wild? So stay tuned and we'll get to hear.
She's from Queens, salt water, and she eats, you'll see what she eats, but we're gonna feed her right now. So if you want to watch us, keep watching. Dad, don't pause it. We're gonna show them how we feed.
Yep, we are going to show.
Dad, go get the food.
That's right, we're going to do it. But you know, You know, Stanley actually is not from saltwater. She's freshwater.
She said he's from clean saltwater.
Clean saltwater.
So
Well,
that's what she meant was freshwater.
okay, so it's freshwater. That's right. Yep.
Freshwater. She's from freshwater.
Which means
She does not belong in the sea.
That's
exactly.
Right. She doesn't belong in the sea.
Stanley doesn't come from the sea. Stanley's a boy, Mr. Stanley, right?
Mr. Stanley, that's right.
And Stanley
Like
comes.
the Pout-Pout Fish. We could add, maybe I thought when I was a baby I nicknamed him Pout-Pout Fish.
Yeah. Awesome.
So
Okay.
if Stanley doesn't come from the ocean, where does Stanley come from?
I don't know where he came from.
Well, what other kind of water is there? Clean water, like rivers.
Yeah.
So Stanley comes from rivers and lakes.
Yeah, rivers and lakes. He comes from rivers and lakes.
And does he come from the rivers and lakes in Washington?
Yes.
No.
No.
He comes from South America.
Yeah, South America. I think did Volvocito give it to us?
No, Volvo didn't, but Volvocito comes from where Stanley comes from, in Brazil. Stanley's a Matoro stingray. He's one of the most common types of freshwater stingray in the world. They're found throughout the Amazon basin, freshwater streams and lakes.
Tell that to
Yeah, tell that to everybody. So we're gonna have Daddy come on, and he's gonna show everybody all sorts of things about Stanley. So he's gonna come on now, and he's gonna tell all of our friends about Stanley.
I'm gonna tell him a little bit about it.
You want to help Daddy?
I want to tell him about it.
Okay, we can have you be on the video with Daddy. Are you ready?
Yeah.
High five. Awesome.
Stanley, I'm talking about her stingray. If you don't know about her stinging thing, if you touch touch her, she will probably hurt you. And it's Mr. Stanley Pout-Pout Fish.
Pout-Pout Fish.
And these are the fish and Finatics Fish Shop.
Hi, I'm going to introduce you guys to our buddy Stanley. He's our freshwater stingray. He's a Matoro stingray from South America. There are several different types of freshwater stingrays. They come from all over South America and on up into the Gulf states, into Georgia even. Stanley's a true freshwater stingray coming from freshwater streams inside the Amazon. They can get actually quite large, up to 30 inches in diameters on a big female. Males don't get nearly that big, maybe 20 inches on an average. So stingrays are a very large freshwater fish. Us with our small community tanks can imagine that there are some great big tanks out there. Stingrays can get as much as 30 inches, really this big around. Now Stan isn't that big yet. He's more like 10 inches or so. And he's a boy. Boys usually only get about maybe 20 inches. So he can still get quite a bit bigger. But they don't get quite as big as his girlfriend, which we have Stella at home, and she's this big now, but she can get 30 inches. Again, stingrays come from throughout the Amazon basin in freshwater streams. They're not a brackish fish or a saltwater fish at all. They're a true freshwater fish. Of course, we call our buddy Flat Stanley. You know why we call him Flat Stanley, don't you? Why?
Because he's a flat stingray.
Because he's flat.
Because he's flat.
Yeah. Stingrays eat all kinds of different types of meaty foods. They'll eat any kind of fish or worms or shrimps that they find laying around. They're not an aggressive predator, and they're definitely not aggressive towards people, but they certainly will eat anything that they find laying around. I've got krill here defrosted for him, and he's waiting for his meal. He knows it's coming. He's a hungry little digger. Make sure I don't have any ice chunks in here. But we'll also feed him small fish, that frozen fish that we thought for him. We'll feed him worms, different types. He'll eat earthworms or... Come here, Stan. Come on. He'll eat earthworms or even small bloodworms that you get for the aquarium. He's really not that picky. Just getting big enough chunky food because he eats quite a bit. Watch him, there he goes. I feed him prepared foods like rapashi on a pretty regular basis also. He does very well on that. Rapashi is a gel food, and he's happy to take just about anything we give him. Owning a stingray can be a little bit of a challenge because, like we said before, they get to be quite a big fish. The only real requirements is that you have a big enough house for them, which is at least a 6-foot tank, and can be able to feed them and keep their water clean. Considering how big they are, they eat quite a bit, and they, of course, dirty the water fairly quickly. But with proper care, they're actually quite easy to keep. Many freshwater stingrays have been bred in captivity. Matoros are definitely amongst those groups. They have live babies, which is an unusual fun fact about stingrays. And that's true for all kinds of stingrays, not just Matoro stingrays. They lay their eggs inside themselves, and then when the pups, that's what they call the babies, pups, mature, then the female gives birth to little carbon copies of themselves that jump out and start swimming around.
Dad, put it up in the air.
Another fact about stingrays that should be enunciated.
On the ground there.
No, he's not going to come. Another common question about stingrays is, can they sting? And if you look real close, yes indeed, he has a stinger right there on his tail. And that thing is like a bee stinger.
Dad,
It's got quite a bit of venom on that, a lot more, maybe 1,000 times an average bee. And if you do get stung by a stingray, you will know it. It is one of the most painful things that you can experience. And actually, just like with bees, a person can be allergic to the sting, and it can cause anaphylaxis or a real bad day. Stingrays aren't aggressive, though. They don't go chasing people down to sting them. The most common reason why people get stung, and it does happen in South America on a fairly regular basis, is because they like to cover themselves in sand, and if you're walking in the shallows and accidentally step on one, he'll turn around and sting you pretty good. And that is why stingrays are actually the most feared fish in South America, not piranhas or arapaimas or any of that, but the stingray, because again, if you accidentally step on one, he'll put a good hurting on you. But as we find, they're not aggressive. They're like having a little puppy around. He doesn't mind if we touch him. He's got kind of shark skinny feel. And we don't grab him or hold him down or anything like that, so he doesn't feel threatened and he doesn't sting us. But they're very personable. They actually come over and beg for food and talk to us on a regular basis.
Thanks for joining us for Finatics Fish Story Time. We hope you join us again next week. Go ahead and give us a like or subscribe to our channel here so that we can keep producing these for you. Let us know what you enjoyed today in the comment section and what you'd like to see next time. Thanks again.